We're recording.
You always start it when I go, okay, no more talking. And then I have nothing else to say.
Yeah.
Hi.
Hi.
How are
It's episode 49.
you? Which is like, what?
Yeah. Crazy. Next week will be episode 50. And then the week after that will be our last episode of season 1, because that would mark a year of us recording
Is that
this podcast.
the 21st?
I have it in my calendar.
I'm terrible at these sort of things. Oh, wait, calendar.
The 21st is when the podcast turns a year old. This episode comes out on the 6th. We have another episode out on the 13th. And then
The 20th will be the
20th will be the last one of this
season. Okay.
And then this season 2 begins on the 27th, which is Thanksgiving Day.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm thankful for this podcast lasting a year,
Yeah.
which is crazy.
So I lied. We're going to be at episode 52. Hang on, 49, 50, 51. Episode 51
Okay.
will be our last episode because we skipped a week. Otherwise, we would have had 52. I don't know if the microphones.
I don't know if it
picked
picks that up, but it was cute.
Yeah. You'll probably hear him again. Just a cat meowing.
Just a cat who's become obsessed with going out for his little daily walks.
Yeah.
And didn't do that today.
The deaf cat that we had, we decided it would be fun to get a harness for him. And I mean, we've had it for a long time and we've taken him out a handful of times. But it's only just been recently that he started wanting to go out every single day. And he is like a toddler. He will meow, like scream meow at the door. And looking up at his harness, looking up at us until we put the harness on. And he's like so cute. When we reach for the harness, he'll go stand on our entryway table and just wait for us to put it on. So like he knows what's up.
It's adorable.
But then we carry him out the door. We don't want him to get into the habit of walking out the door himself. So we carry him out. And the first place we take him to is our windowsill, because there's usually a cat on the other side of the window. And so that's fun, watching that little interaction. But then he wants to cross the parking lot over into a little grassy area that we have, but he doesn't actually want to be carried.
Or walk.
But he won't walk himself. So he is like the ultimate toddler. Don't carry me, put me down, I want to walk. And then just like, I don't want to walk. It's too much work. But no, put me down.
Lay in the middle of the parking lot.
Cake, stop.
Oh, sweetheart, your face.
You're so cute.
I love you. Yeah, and then
that was your obligatory me yelling at Cake for chewing on her bone too loudly while we're recording. But anyway.
But it's adorable when he's in the grass. He's learned that he can indeed walk with the harness on.
Yeah.
Which is nice.
He keeps his body pretty low to the ground, though. It's kind of funny. He slinks along and sniffs things. He's cute.
Obsessed with the pine. What are those little evergreens?
They're like
evergreen
mini
shrubs.
Evergreen shrubs. I don't know what they are. They're kind of like topiary style.
He just threw something on the floor. But yeah, he gets obsessed with them, and then he just stands under one and sniffs it.
Yep.
The same exact spot for like 10 minutes. And we're like, dude, walk.
Yeah.
Do something. We're bored now. Going in. Okay, bye.
Don't carry me.
No, carry me. He's adorable.
Anyway.
What else is new?
What else is new? October is done, but we are keeping registration for our Rook Runners 5K open. Indefinitely. Originally, we were saying another week, but we have a lot of extra medals. So, yeah, it's not too late. If you haven't registered, sign up. Go to our Patreon. It's the first post you'll see because it's pinned right up at the top.
And the proceeds portion of the proceeds is being donated to the Great Lakes Bully Brigade in Detroit, Michigan.
Yeah. How about some adorable little doggos?
Yeah.
They're cute.
We have a cat. Hey, buddy.
Speaking of toddlers. This little boy. Hey,
We got our Great Lakes Bully Brigade shirts.
We
this
did.
week.
Yeah, they had a sale on fall shirts. I got one that says treat dealer.
I just got one of their logo ones.
Yeah.
That was I don't know. I was feeling that vibe with this one.
Yeah.
It's cool.
What else is new? Well, another new thing. We talked about this last week during our little good news episode.
Oh, I love our good news
We
episode.
said, yeah, it was really good. And it's actually like getting a lot of downloads. So if you guys want more stuff like that, let us know. But we talked about incorporating a little bit of good news at the beginning of each episode.
Yeah.
Starting now.
Starting right now. What do you have?
Oh, we're supposed to both get something?
Oh,
I didn't.
Yeah. Oh, well.
You said you had things, so I was like, cool.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't have anything. I'll have something for war members, but that's it.
I did like a little quick good news search, and it was mostly like, I don't know. The one website I found, I was like, I don't know. A lot of them were just kind of, I mean, some people might like them. I don't know. It wasn't speaking to me, so I went elsewhere.
Okay.
And I found...
You're saying a lot of words, but not really describing anything.
I know. They were just meh. I don't know. I found one that talked about daylight savings time because most of the country just switched their clocks back. We did not.
We live in Arizona. Everybody else should get on our level
on it
and stop messing with your clocks.
And do you know why you should do that?
Why?
Because it's healthier to be on standard time, which is what we are on right now.
Really?
It is healthier, which I think
How?
is brilliant. So, well, there's a lot of scientific stuff, but I'm going to just boil it down to the switch of the time, the time change thing affects our natural circadian rhythm.
Yeah, it sure does.
In a big bad way.
Ask anybody who's had to like switch their work schedule from days to nights.
Mm-hmm.
It sucks. And it takes a long time to get used to. So yeah.
Yeah.
And like everybody I know that has to change their clocks complains about it every single 6 months. Every single time.
Yeah.
And I mean, every time I have to brag about living in Arizona. But yeah, it messes with you. And then I see, pictures posted of dogs waiting to be fed because the time has changed and their usual time to be fed is not their time to be fed anymore. But they don't know that because they don't know what time it is. Yeah. So like, I don't know.
Time is a construct.
I'm just like, don't make your dog do daylight savings. Feed them at their time. Mm-hmm. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't know that I don't like daylight savings. I've always hated it. I think it's always been one of the stupidest normalized scams.
Yeah. And it's like
that
just the thought of adjusting your schedule, even only by an hour, but you do it every 6 months. Mm-hmm. It's ridiculous.
And it just like you can't. Everybody complains like, "Oh, I'm still struggling with them. I'm still struggling." Like a week later, because and it's like if you didn't change your clocks, it wouldn't.
Yeah,
like you wouldn't struggle.
You wouldn't have this.
You would still be on your same. It's the daylight part that we need.
Yeah,
not the savings time, which is the spring forward part. It's the standard time, the winter time. The standard time. I know. It's very confusing.
It's a confusing concept to explain to a native Arizonan because I have no idea that there was even like, I knew standard time was a term. Mm-hmm. I didn't know that was the set 6 month period. Everybody is in standard time. Mm-hmm. So I was like, I thought standard time was just like the time it was in that time zone.
It is. And then we do daylight
only
savings
for those 6
where
months.
You spring forward and you move everything.
I didn't.
That's when you're in daylight savings time instead of standard time. It's really kind of ridiculous. And I'm not going to, But anyway.
Imagine not having to teach that in a school.
Yeah.
Isn't that great? Can you imagine that?
I could focus on actually teaching.
How I grew up, not knowing. It's great. It wasn't until I made friends with people in other time zones that I had to pay attention to that.
And like we do now because of our Patreon, we have our games and stuff. We're like, what time? Okay, now our games are at 6:00, which like is cool for us because now we get off work at 4. We have 2 hours before game time.
Yeah, but then we have 0 time between that and when we have to go make pies.
Yeah. We're like, okay, we're done with the game. Good night. Let's go make pies now. So it's not, we don't have that buffer there, which is fine because we love our people in our games.
So yeah, I totally believe that it's healthier to not mess with your clocks.
So these two,
you don't have that stress.
Right.
And
just leave it alone. These 2 doctors, Jamie M. Zeitzer and Lara Weed, ran this. They built these computer models. They built these computer models to simulate how light exposure affects your circadian rhythms and therefore your health.
Uh-huh.
Under the permanent standard time, the permanent daylight savings time, and then the system that we are in now where we switch twice a year. So then they compared these simulations with the mathematical model of the circadian clock, and they adjusted for geographical features like where you are because, further north, the sun, you lose more sun just because the earth is round.
Yeah.
What? And that's how that's how it works. I know. Anyway, and they linked their estimates of what they called the circadian burden. And this is the amount of time the body takes to adjust itself to stay on track with the time changes. So
the circadian burden.
I
like
love
that.
it. Yeah. So the results showed that over the course of a year, most people would experience fewer abrupt changes to their circadian rhythms under the permanent standard time. And this is the time we're in now when there's more morning light exposure, which is good. Because, I complain because I go to bed at 3 and the sun comes up at 5.
Yeah.
It's like, I get blackout curtains. But they said with a whole year of standard time, the study estimated that the United States obesity? What? The United States obesity prevalence would drop by nearly 0.8%, which means roughly 2.6 million fewer people struggling with obesity nationwide.
Wow.
And that's just because you're sleeping correctly and your body isn't struggling.
Yeah.
And your body goes into survival mode.
Oh, yeah.
And starvation mode. Yeah.
At the smallest inconvenience. Yeah. Today, for instance, I bought donuts.
They were very good. Thank you.
Yeah.
It also says that under permanent standard time, stroke prevalence falls by 0.09%, which is 300,000 fewer cases of stroke.
Wow.
So if that's the standard time, if you did permanent daylight savings time, it also showed fewer cases of obesity and fewer cases of stroke, but at a lesser rate, like 1.7 million fewer cases of obesity and 200,000 fewer strokes. So there is a benefit to staying in
standard
in standard over daylight savings, and no benefit at all for switching the clocks.
Yeah,
none at all.
Just continued stress
doing it. It just stresses you out.
Oh man, what if we all just stopped doing it? What if everybody, regardless of the laws, stopped doing it?
Chaos would ensue.
Why are we waiting to be told to not switch our clocks? Let's just not do it.
There's a lot of different things where I'm just like, you could just not do the thing you're doing that is a wicked bad thing. Just don't do it.
A wicked bad thing.
A wicked bad thing.
I wouldn't go. Okay, yeah, maybe it's a wicked bad
I'm just
thing.
saying. I'm not saying just daylight time. I'm just changing the clock. I'm saying other things in life in general. You could just not do the thing.
Just not do it.
Just don't do it.
Yeah, just don't.
If no one did the thing, it wouldn't be done, and then people would be like, "Oh, look, life goes on without doing that thing. How cool is that? We all are a lot happier now."
So if you ever wonder if you should do a thing, and if you're wondering if it's a wicked bad thing,
just don't do it.
Just don't do the thing. Don't mess with your clocks, and don't do murder, and
just, I don't know, let people live their lives.
But don't do the thing.
Don't do the thing. Don't do the bad things.
Don't.
Anyway, in the 1970s, the United States enacted a trial of permanent daylight savings time. That's to move the clocks forward. But it ended after...
That's when we're in Pacific.
Yes. They ended it because children were commuting to school in the dark. See, in standard time, there's more morning hours.
Yeah.
Your kids are not going to be waiting on the bus in the dark, driving to school in the dark if they're, driving age.
Yeah,
you're not going to be
important.
driving to school in the dark.
Yeah.
It's going to be better.
Yep.
You're not going to have to get up at some stupid hour in the dark.
Yeah.
But there was also an increase in car accidents under that.
Yeah.
Because again, morning
It's dark,
hours in
and
the
it's
dark.
morning. Yeah.
You're not awake in areas with humidity. There's crazy fog. I mean, growing up in North Carolina,
Yeah.
I lived like 6 or 7 miles from my school, and some mornings it would take 20 minutes because the fog was so dense
That's crazy.
that you can't see. So you're just like creeping along, hoping everybody else is creeping along.
Yeah.
Usually they're not. But yeah, so let's just not do that. But anyway, so now it's actually healthier for you. So everybody, let's just not change our clocks. That's
all in favor?
all in favor in this moment. Raise your hand. Good. Thank you.
Let me count.
Well done.
Let me get a count.
I see a lot of hands up, at least in
Keep
my
'em up.
immediate
Hang on.
vicinity. I got a little counter go click, 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 click.
All right. We are officially ruling here at Justin Hids Make a Podcast that in the spring of 2026, nobody mess with your clocks.
Just leave them alone.
Just leave them alone. You'll be happier.
You'll be happier. So much happier.
Yeah. You won't have strokes.
Also, I have one more thing for you to do to make your life better
Okay.
and to improve your cognitive brain function. And
It's going to be like eating healthy and
No.
exercising, right?
No, actually it's not. Do you know what it's going to be?
What?
Learning to write in cursive.
Oh, what? It's a foreign language these days.
It is a foreign language
I
these
do need to
days.
practice my cursive. Mine still looks like the kind that you learn. So like the generic.
Loop-de-loop.
Yeah. But
that's
do need to
okay.
practice.
So, writing in cursive or even just handwriting in general, but cursive especially is better for you.
That's cool.
A study published by the Association for Psychological Science found that taking notes in longhand, not on your laptop, improves comprehension. And it says that laptop note takers tend to transcribe lectures almost verbatim instead of processing the information and reframing it in their own words.
Mm-hmm.
When I do my notes, I tend to pull things over and then kind of parse it out. And I'm like, sometimes I just want to write it down, but I know that'll take longer.
Yeah.
And the reason it'll take longer is because if I make a mistake, I start the whole paper over.
Yeah.
That's a mental problem for me.
Uh-huh.
I'll deal with it eventually. Writing in cursive or just handwriting in general encourages brain development, especially in cursive because you need to establish fine motor control, and you have to pay attention and think about what you are doing and how you're doing it to do the thing. So brain imaging studies show that cursive activates areas of the brain that are not activated if you're typing on a keyboard.
That's cool.
See, and those are important. You need to stimulate your entire brain so that as you age, I'm pointing to myself, your memory improves. So I'm going to, one of my goals for this month is to actually write more with my hand. I'm looking at my hand. But just to deal with that, committing, and that's also, I've talked about it before, when I talk about my 3 good things, say good things about yourself because you repeat positive less than you repeat negative.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Oh, so writing things down reinforces it in your brain.
Yeah.
Yeah, because your brain is very black and white. There are no gray areas. It's like yes or no.
Yeah.
So if you write something down as a fact, your brain's like, boom, that's a fact.
I talked about in the Buying and Selling Dreams episode, the whole concept of manifesting something. And that's one of the things that you do in order to manifest something is you physically write it down and put it a place where you can see.
Yep.
And that sort of plays into that whole psychology of putting it in your brain. And yeah, it's important to actually physically write stuff down.
My next point, it helps achieve goals.
Hey.
Dr. Jordan Peterson says, it appears possible that writing, which is a formalized form of thinking, helps people derive information from their experiences that help them guide their perceptions, actions, thoughts, and emotions in the present. Clarifying purpose and meaning into the future helps improve positive emotion, which is associated with movement towards important goals.
A formalized form of thinking. I like that.
You have to think about the letters instead of just the muscle memory of the keyboard.
Yeah.
But you have to think about when you're writing stuff down, and that makes you think about what words you're writing and what the meaning of those words are.
And also, I could argue that because we tend to write slower than we type, you are repeating the words over and over in your head as you're writing them so you don't forget what the next word that you're about to write. That's what I do anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, I have a thought. I need to write it down, so I have to repeat that thought in my head so I don't lose it halfway through the sentence.
Right.
Research reveals that students who write essays with a pen write more than those who use a keyboard. They also wrote faster and in more complete sentences.
And
And then
complete sentences is important, folks.
so important. Deborah Spear, who is an academic therapist in Great Falls, says that she uses cursive writing as an integral part of her work with students who have dyslexia.
Oh, interesting.
And I was like, whoa, that like blew my mind because I have like number dyslexia. I will flip numbers super easy. So like I'm like constantly double checking everything. She says, because all letters in cursive start on a baseline and because the pen moves fluidly from left to right, cursive is easier to learn for dyslexic students who have trouble forming words correctly, which I think is just fascinating to me.
Yeah, that's cool.
And also, like, just as a, like on a personal note, my mom is dyslexic, but she writes in everything she writes is in cursive. She doesn't print.
Yeah.
And I just like, she said, she always would say, it's just easier. Cause you know, I'm like a kid. I'm like, why do you write in cursive all the time?
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I mean, all of my grandparents wrote in cursive all the time. It's that like,
cause it was taught.
That's how you write. Yeah. And print was for like job applications or, you know, tax forms.
Yeah. You had to print and sign your name.
Yeah.
You know, or you're like, just for like, I don't want to say legibility because cursive, if you're doing it correctly, is very legible.
Legible, yeah.
But some people tend to, you know, I don't sign my name when I sign anything except a legal document. Everything else is just a. But yeah, so I'm going to. My last part is that it fosters intention, and that ties in with like the manifesting and achieving goals. You just kind of. There's a tactile sensation to it. And it kind of puts you more into the moment. There's no autocorrect or grammar suggestions, so you have to like actually.
You have to think about
Think about what you're writing and know what you're writing, and there's no potential for AI to guide your thoughts. Yeah, I know. Like when I'm typing, like in Messenger or somewhere where there's the AI prompts or whatever, and it wants to fill out a whole sentence for me. And I'm like, well, that's not anything that I'm trying to write. I mean, yes, it would work in this situation, but because I really hate AI doing all the things that AI is doing unnecessarily. That's one of them. I like, okay, you want me to write that? I'm writing something completely different. Yeah. So I'll change the wording of my thought just so I don't use the AI suggestion because I'm just that petty, apparently.
Petty against the machine.
Petty. Oh, there we go. Yeah. So I think one of the things I'm going to do this month is to write more. Cool. And I'm actually going to like bust out my calligraphy pens.
Ooh, fancy.
Yeah, because that was a thing I did like in 6th and 7th grade. They stuck me in some special classes because I was ADHD. Well, they said I was academically gifted, but you know. all all the
I wasn't.
academically gifted kids who are struggling now, raise your hand and tell me how your ADHD is doing.
I have ADHD, but I was not academically gifted. I was called a daydreamer, and I needed to pay attention more
Yeah.
because I was not getting the work.
Yep.
Not academically gifted at all.
I mean, I would just get like, okay, I'm done with this. I've read the book. Here are the answers to the questions. Yes, I know this is for next week, but I was bored in class because you were, doing other things. I just was like, focus. Hyper focus would kick in and I would just do everything. But
Anyway.
I have one last thing, which I think is kind of cool because we're all about art and creativity and artists.
Cool.
The Irish government has announced that a pilot scheme that provided artists and creatives with a weekly stipend will be made permanently.
Whoa.
So they, artists and creative, like professions, like sculptors and painters and writers and, it's the wonderful creative arts.
Yeah.
Like, yes, please. They get a weekly stipend of 325 euros. And this was an attempt to help with to help mitigate the financial instability that creative industries face because of AI.
Yeah.
But it had the results of this initial pilot that ran from 2022 to 2025, over 2,000 artists. An independent study found that it had a noticeable positive impact on the lives of those who received it. So it wasn't like that much money that's not a lot of money, like when you look at the living expenses, but it helped these creatives to be able to continue their art and kind of grow in their fields.
Yeah.
Without stressing out. And like we say a lot of times, we would love to devote more time to this, but we have to do that.
Jobs.
So to pay the bills, because you have to, you want to have a house and you want to have a place to live and food and that sort of thing. So it just kind of helped do that. And it is become a permanent thing in Ireland.
That is really cool.
Which I think is very cool.
Yeah.
It already is kind of a thing in Alaska. So I think we all hear about like Alaska residents get a monthly or an annual dividend.
Yeah.
That's been in place
parts of Alaska, right? Or is it everybody?
It's Alaska. It's the Alaska Permanent Fund, and it has paid an annual dividend to every resident since 1982. But that one kind of fluctuates and is based on a whole passel of numbers that I didn't dive into. And it doesn't it isn't the income that will support your basic needs. It's just kind of a little extra each year.
Yeah.
And it is over like a whole year instead of you get it at the end of the year. So, but yeah, I thought that was cool that like Ireland is like, hey, we want to support our art, our artists in the creative space. So
that is really awesome.
That is very cool. But that's my little interesting things.
Yay.
It wasn't really like good news. I can't remember if I mentioned it last week when I talked about the green turtle, but they have been removed from the endangered species list.
I think you did.
I don't know if I actually said that. They're still protected.
I know we talked about it again on Sunday.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I can't remember, but I just want to say that.
Yeah.
Because that's a good thing to say.
Cool.
But anyway, so that's my little fun, neat things, good positivity things. I don't know.
Sweet.
Something different. I'm done talking now.
Let's roll the dice.
Okay. Oh, I still got to talk some more.
Yeah, you have to talk about your actual subject.
Okay. Well, I want you to go first because I kind of already have. Oh no, you got a 6.
I got a 6.
Roll low. My die has been 15. Geez, well, I'll just keep on. I'm sorry, everyone. You got to listen to me for a little bit longer. So at the end of our last one, when we drew cards, and I was like, "Oh, this is an interesting topic. I don't know what it's going to be. I'm not doing that topic."
Okay.
I'll do it next week.
I don't even remember what that was.
Well, you don't because I didn't tell you.
I know, but
I remember what it was, and I'm actually excited to do it. But I did promise that I was going to do the wild hunt.
Oh.
So I'm going to do a little bit about the wild hunt.
The wild hunt was our theme for the scavenger hunt that we ran last month.
Yeah.
All through October.
that we'll be working on.
We need to start
calculating all the points and looking at all the submissions.
We gave ourselves until the 15th.
Yeah.
So we got time, but we can't tell ourselves that we have time. Otherwise,
I have to do it by Friday.
Yeah. It's going to be the 14th and we're going to be like, oh, crap.
At 11:45, I'll be like, oh, crap.
Yeah.
Quick, dive through these. Okay.
Anyway, tell me about the Wild Hunt.
The Wild Hunt. Okay, I'm going to read something that was written in the Anglo-Saxon Chronicle, which is one of the earliest histories of the Anglo-Saxons. And this was recorded as happening in 1127 CE.
Okay. Long time ago.
It's been a few years.
Yeah.
Let no one be surprised at what we are about to relate, for it was common gossip up and down the countryside that after February 6th, many people both saw and heard a whole pack of huntsmen in full cry. They straddled black horses and black bucks, while their hounds were pitch black with staring, hideous eyes. This was seen in the very deer park of Peterborough town, and in all the woods stretching from that same spot as far as Stamford. All through the night, monks heard them sounding and winding their horns. Reliable witnesses who kept watch in the night declared that there might well have been 20 or even 30 of them in this wild tantivy as near as they could tell. So this was known as the Wild Hunt.
Huh.
And I thought that was a fun little description of it. I have some more that come through that I'm going to read at the end of this. Just some little snippets from different writings over the centuries.
Sweet.
So the Wild Hunt has been recorded in folklore all throughout the ancient, medieval, and even early modern Europe, but it was mostly concentrated in the Germanic lands of Northern Europe. In Scandinavia, it was called the Terrifying Ride or Odin's Hunt. In Middle High German, it's called, not going to try to say that because I don't speak German, but it translates into Odin's Army, or the Furious or Inspired Army, or the Wild Hunt. And there's a lot of different accounts of who leads the Wild Hunt. It has varied over time. It's been, in Germany, the leader could have been Perkta, Berta, Holt, Holang, Hulda, Fosta, Selga, Selda, Herla, Berchtold, or Bertolt. Those are all just some of the names of the leaders of the Wild Hunt.
Okay.
And then as we go into some other, like, kind of more European stories outside of Germany, I have tons of names. They're often attributed to different, like, landowners or lords, or like people who kind of
interesting.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. But
in the Dresden Files, Santa Claus ran the Wild Hunt.
or Odin.
Or Odin,
Yeah.
Who was,
So Odin is like the number one figure who is most closely associated with this. Odin is the god of the dead, the god of battle frenzy, knowledge, the ruling class, and kind of creative and intellectual pursuits. So he also is known as, oh my gosh, my brain just cut off in the middle of that sentence because there's like a little a little word that I can't pronounce in my brain. You don't have to know the rest of that sentence. It's fine. So Odin has like all these different names that associate him with midwinter, which is when the Wild Hunt typically is. Like we did ours in October, but it's usually typically not until like December, January, February, that time period.
Okay.
And there's a reason for that as well, but I'll tell you that later. The myths kind of call him Master of Yule. So again, your Santa Claus from Dresden Files, which is on my to be read list.
Yeah.
But they describe him as riding throughout the 9 worlds on his 8-legged steed. I always call it Sleipnir, and I know that's wrong.
That's what it looks like.
That's what it looks like, and that's what I'm going with. Sometimes that these are quests of like shamanic natures, and other times they are kind of not attacks, but like gathering the dead.
Okay.
So there's a lot of spectral references, a lot of references to death, and but not like gathering dead, like going around killing people to gather them, but like bringing them into, although some of the later ones that kind of get involved in more of the religious aspect of it, there's a lot of kind of good versus evil, and you can, if you're outside and you see the wild hunt, just pray and it'll go away.
Okay.
That kind of.
So in those legends, they are hunting down like wicked people.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So it kind of becomes like a morality type thing instead of this more like taking the dead to, their final place or the beyond or wherever.
I wonder if that's where the whole wild bunch thing came from. And I say the whole wild bunch thing only just realizing now that that's something that my great grandma might have just told my grandma. You better be good or the wild bunch will get you.
Yeah.
And she said that every time they heard the coyotes at night.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But they called it the wild bunch. Yeah.
I only
seems like I heard that in other like modern Western.
I was going to say like the wild bunch that I know is from the old Henry Fonda Terrence Hill movie.
Okay, yeah.
What is
funny.
it? Nobody?
No,
the Nobody movie.
Call me Nope.
They call me Nobody. My name is Nobody.
Nobody.
Yeah.
Yeah. Something like that.
Because the wild bunch, they're just like these wild riders who just kind of roam across the plains.
It's also possible that was who she was referring to because they watch spaghetti westerns. So I don't know.
Oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Anyway, that was a weird tangent. Sorry.
That's fine. That's what we're all about here. We do the tangents. Yep. That's what we do. So a lot of the themes of the wild hunt connect it to the dead and the underworld, which like in that first passage, the black horses, the black dogs, the black bucks.
Yeah, that seemed very underworld.
Underworld vibes.
Like black dogs could be hellhounds, and
hellhounds are often seen with the wild hunt too.
Okay.
So, but some of the themes that kind of tie it to the ghostly character of the hunters or the warriors, depending on where you are, that happens to be how it's described. They're all the riders are often spectral in form and don't really have solid bodies or anything. They're often seen like with these wild eyes that burn flames and that sort of thing.
That's awesome. Okay. I was going to tell you to just keep talking, but then that would have been awkward.
It's a nice little. Why aren't you reacting to anything I'm saying?
And Jess just left the room.
Cool. It's fine. So some of the other things that kind of tie it with the dead is the wild dogs and the wild horses that are being ridden. And both of these are animals that are associated with death. And like, I've done a lot of like reading of different mythologies and stuff, but I was just like, horses are associated with death?
Yeah, like wild dogs you get.
Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't know about horses.
Yeah, so I have a little sidebar about horses in different areas that were associated with death. So in Mesopotamia, the horse is assigned to the sun god Shamash and symbolizes speed and strength. And so the Sumerians believed that horses could cross over between the earthly and divine realm.
Oh.
So, which is interesting.
Yeah.
And this is comparable to like the stories from Egyptian myth in which Ra, who's the sun god, is depicted driving a chariot of horses across the underworld at night.
Okay.
So I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
I'm getting it now. I'm getting it.
Horses as a mode of transportation, it kind of slides in with transitioning from life to death or going through those liminal spaces. Yeah.
There are a lot of equine figures in Celtic mythology that act as crossing agents. The goddess Epona has associations with fertility and the afterlife. She is a horse goddess the form of a horse goddess. It also, Celtic mythology also gives horses the ability to carry a soul to the other world. So horses are seen as kind of the central actor in rituals that are related to death and rebirth.
Okay.
So again, I'm just like learning all this stuff.
Yeah, I get it. It makes sense.
What's so fun about this podcast is I get to learn too.
Yeah.
And then
you said the term the other world.
Mm-hmm.
Is that like is there a specific culture that term belongs to? Because I have not heard that. I've heard the underworld afterlife. I've never heard otherworld, and I kind of like that.
You know what? Let me get back to you. It was used in reference to Celtic mythology,
Okay.
which is something I would love to kind of dive into
For sure.
you know, on the podcast, just kind of talking about it, because so much of today's stuff comes from Celtic mythology and Celtic beliefs and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's kind of interesting to kind of dive into that from like just like a learning side of things.
Yeah. I'll say it again. If there was a degree in mythology, I really would have wanted it, but also that would involve
it so bad.
School.
Yeah. Well. So a psychopomp is a figure of mythology that is their function is to guide souls to the afterlife.
Okay.
And
I
often
recently read that word somewhere.
Was it in the ink book?
It was in the Dungeons and Drawings.
Oh,
it
okay.
was there. Yeah.
Yeah. So
anyway,
horses often play this role as kind of act as mediators between the living and the dead. So kind of to guide souls or literally carry souls. Many Native American cultures believe that horses could travel along with the spirits of those who had departed into the afterlife in order to lead them through the spiritual realms and lead them to a place that they could find rest and peace.
Yeah.
Which I think is cool. And then we also have Hades. Speaking of the underworld, he's often accompanied or driving a chariot that's drawn by black horses. And the black horses symbolize the darkness and the inevitability of death. So they were vehicles for Hades and kind of symbols of the fear and the awe that is inspired by death.
Yeah.
Which it's so funny because I don't ever think of Hades with horses. I go, oh, Cerberus.
I know.
Puppy.
Yeah, Hades has a dog. We all know that.
We know that. Puppy. So in Celtic mythology, the white horse is a depiction of purity and a symbol of the afterlife. And Epona is often pictured on a white horse.
Okay.
So anyway, the riders of the hunt, and a lot of times like I said, mentioned earlier, they're depicted as spectral or they look like dead beings.
Yeah.
And it says that they can often hardly be distinguished from land spirits. So I was like, what is a land spirit?
A land spirit?
Yeah. So this is again from Old Norse, and they're spirits who dwell within particular places or features of the land, and they wield influence over the well-being of the land and those who depend on it.
So would like tree nymphs fall into that category? Would that be considered a land spirit?
Or a tree spirit. But yes, like fairies, elves, the dwarves, that sort of thing, all sprites are all types of land spirits in this type of setting.
Okay.
So they can bless those or curse those who live or travel in their land, and just depending on how they're treated. And I thought one of the interesting thing was the first law code of Iceland in 930 CE instructed that those entering the country by ship to remove the dragon heads from their boats when they first sighted land, lest they frighten the land spirits.
Oh,
Which I was just like, okay, one, I didn't know you could take the dragon heads off the boat. Like, hey, pull over, we're going to pop this thing off really quick. But also, like, that's kind of a... that popped in my ear and I wasn't looking at you when it happened, and I was like, what just happened?
Oh, man. Sorry.
That's the sound it makes when you take the dragon head off your boat. Oh, man. Okay, so yes, so don't disturb the land spirits. And these, seeing as the riders of the hunt could possibly have been land spirits, you were just stay indoors, let them pass by, don't disrupt them. They're on their mission or their duty or whatever it is that they're doing. And then another thing that ties into the kind of the death vibe of the wild hunt is the fact that, and we see this a lot in a lot of different cultures, the belief that the line between the living and the dead is more permeable during midwinter. and this is why we see the apparitions most often during that time of year.
Okay.
And that features in a lot of different mythologies and beliefs about, the winter being the kind of, time when spirits are kind of more readily seen and more visible. And it kind of makes sense. It's the end of the year.
End of a year.
Everything's kind of dying off. And then you get spring comes and it's like new and rebirth and all of that. So it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
So I'm going to read a couple little short snippets that I found, and I'll link the website I have. It has like a lot of stories of the Wild Hunt that were taken from books that have been written over time. But this one, I picked this first one because I found the second one, but I'm going to do the second one because it ties in. The second one is really just a quote from a book that ties into the end of this first story. From two different. It'll make sense.
Okay, so you're going to do the first one and then you're going to do the second one. That's what I got from that. There's a second one after the first one that ties into the first one. Is that basically it?
Yeah.
Okay.
You could. Okay, so this first one I'm going to read is called The Wild Huntsman. It's from The Wild Huntsman, a folklore book, a quarterly review of myth, tradition, institution, and custom. And it was written in 1907 by Henry Jewett. While in Oxfordshire last year, I met with the localization of the Wild Huntsman story, which may perhaps be unknown to your readers. At the village of Noak, a place of some 26 houses about 5 miles from Oxford and 1 mile from Islip, there lived in the reign of Elizabeth one Benedict Winchcombe. He purchased the manor and lived in the manor house, dying there in 1623. He was buried in a chapel attached to the church wherein a fair altar of black marble bearing his effigy was erected, and, leaving no issue, he devised the manor to his nephew, Benedict Hall, son of his only sister, Mary. Both monument and chapel are now demolished, though the inscriptions from the former are let into the chancel wall. The story is current in the village that old Winchcombe, as they call him, was very fond of hunting, and, as in many other versions of the tale, was not content with 6 days in the week for his favorite pastime, but devoted Sunday also to the chase, and that after his death might be heard at night with his hounds careering over the neighboring country until he was finally, quote, laid by 12 parsons. I know. I read that and I was
mean?
like, I'm assuming we're going to say exercise. Like it took 12 people to finally put him in his grave. 12 parsons or priests to put him in his grave for good. Yep. Continuing. I did not ascertain the date of this last event, but it is significant that the village is on the edge of Otmore, formerly the haunt of innumerable wild fowl, which of course we know are in many places termed Gabriel hounds. In their nocturnal flight, from the resemblance of their cry to that of a pack of hounds, and the more, having been drained in the last century, they are, of course, no longer heard. So,
okay. So he's attributing. Okay, no, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
There are birds native to the area that sound like a pack of hunting dogs, hounds.
Yes.
And they can't be found anymore in the area.
Yes.
And it was around the same time that Winchcombe
was finally laid to rest.
Laid by 12 parsons.
Yep, exactly.
And so he's saying that like the whole legend came about because of these birds.
Right. So here's my second part of that. Mary Stewart, in her book, The Gabriel Hounds, says this: I think myself that the idea must have come from the wild geese. Have you heard them? They sound like a pack of hounds in full cry overhead, and the old name for them used to be called gabble ratchet. I've sometimes wondered if the Gabriel doesn't come from gabble, because after all, Gabriel wasn't the angel of death.
Huh.
So kind of a mistranslation or mispronunciation of the word gabble for geese. And then one of the other things is that sometimes flights of 7 birds or 6 birds are often considered an ill omen. And if you hear them, then someone will die.
Oh,
So I'm like, oh man, I hear the geese fly overhead all the time.
Go overhead.
Yeah, like I'm like,
in the morning and in the evening they go back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I thought thought that was, I had read the Mary Stuart part earlier in my research,
Okay.
which is why I was like, oh, I'm going to put that in because it's interesting, because I like to debunk everything, right?
Yeah.
So it was an interesting little debunking. And then I found the one, that's first story that talks about, they drained the moor, so now there are no geese there. And well, it's about that same time that they stopped hearing the wild hunt led by old Winchcombe. So, so it's kind of interesting. Okay, another story. This is called the The Eternal Huntsman of Wenendale. And I'm probably saying that wrong because this takes place in the Netherlands. But that's what it looks like to me, and that's how I'm going to say it.
Okay.
In the neighborhood of the castle of Wenendale, the former palace of the Counts of Flanders, there dwelt a long time ago an aged peasant who had a son that was entirely devoted to the chase, and instead of plowing and cultivating the fields, was always roaming about the woods and forests. His father had often reproached him for this propensity, but he continued in his old course. When the old peasant at length lay on his deathbed, he had his son called to him for the purpose of giving him a last Christian exhortation. He came not, but whistling to his dogs went out into the thicket. At this, the old man was struck with terrific despair, and he cursed his son with the appalling words, "Hunt then forever, aye, forever." He then turned his head and expired.
Wow.
From that time, the unhappy son has wandered restless about the woods. At night, he is frequently heard crying, "Jacko, Jacko, Jacko," and then the whole neighborhood re-echoes with the noise of the huntsman and the baying of dogs. Others say that the huntsman was, by his father's malediction, transformed to a bird of prey and flies about in that form, following and attacking both men and beasts and constantly crying, "Jacko, Jacko, Jacko." In these latter years, the old woods about Wynendael have been grubbed up, since which time the huntsman has gone further up. And it stops there, and I feel like there should be more, like further up north to more forested areas, or I don't know. But that's from a book on mythology of Scandinavia, North Germany, and the Netherlands. And then I have just one more that I liked reading too.
Sweet.
This is from Germany. The Laufenberg. It's one of the 7 mountains.
Okay.
Was once the daily hunting ground of a neighboring knight who was so fond of the chase that he even hunted on Sundays, and once pursued his
like Winchcombe.
Yeah.
Winchcombe.
And once pursued his quarry to the foot of the altar where a priest was celebrating mass. Outraged by the insolence of the knight, who then and there slew his game, the priest solemnly cursed him. At that same moment, the ground opened beneath the hunter's feet, and a pack of hounds from the infernal regions fell upon and tore him to pieces. Ever since then, on stormy nights, this Sabbath breaker's restless ghost hunts wildly through the air, followed by a spectral train of huntsmen and hellhounds, for he can find no rest, though dead, and is condemned to lead the wild hunt forever. This legend, which originated in the myth of Odin, leader of the raging host, is told with slight variations of many places along the Rhine, where sudden windstorms rising during the night are still considered by the credulous peasantry as the passing of a mysterious heavenly host.
Interesting.
So I find it interesting that a lot of these become kind of morality stories.
Yeah.
As kind of Christianity moves in over the kind of Nordic and Celtic stories.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they were probably in their own ways morality stories as well.
Yeah.
But to me, it felt like those earlier stories were more like kind of a passing of the dead during midwinter.
Yeah.
And then it became like, oh, you broke the Sabbath and now you're cursed.
Yep.
Release the hounds. Release the hounds.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's always interesting to me to kind of, and see if I had focus, I would be like, let me go study this specific thing and get a master's degree. Can I do that in 1 week before the hyper focus dies? Cool.
Yeah.
That's what I want to do. But it was just kind of an interesting little shift of of the theme of it going from, this kind of taking the dead spirits into the afterlife.
Mm-hmm.
And then now it's like, well, now you're cursed because you hunted on a Sunday.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
or in a couple of the other stories that some of them were longer, but it involved, people being rude to monks or priests or someone else, or just being lawbreakers and that sort of thing. Like, oh, well, now you're cursed because you're a bad person. So,
yeah,
quote unquote bad person,
Yeah.
But yeah, I just thought it was interesting. But that's just a little bit on the wild hunt.
So if you're thinking about doing the bad thing,
don't do it. Leave your clocks alone. Full circle.
Listen, if you keep messing with your clocks, you're going to be doomed to lead the wild hunt forever.
Or at least be one of the riders.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Which, I don't know, seems kind of fun.
I mean, I like riding. I mean, I used to ride all the time. So
yeah.
I don't know if I want to do it for all eternity, but
there's that.
I mean, it could be fun.
Yeah.
What are the perks? Are there perks?
You know what? They do it midwinter.
Is there a benefit package?
They do it midwinter. It's going to be freezing cold. I don't. No, thank you. I don't want to do that unless there's hot chocolate involved.
But there are hellhounds which are warm, so you have
That's true. I could just
infernal
get like
flame,
a little hellhound puppy to ride up in my saddle with me.
There you
bundled
go.
up in my jacket.
See, it all works out.
Yeah.
Sign us up.
I shall name him Cerberus.
Cerberus Junior.
Oh man.
So yeah, that was my little mini dive into the wild hunt.
That is awesome.
I thought it was fun.
Yeah.
I might art something later.
I just love when we talk about mythology and folklore and all of that. We should totally have a spin-off podcast that is just that.
Mythology of stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. With all the time we have.
With all the time we have,
Yeah.
I will do my deep dive master doctorate degree in Egyptology.
Yeah.
Or just the mythology of
Maybe
Egypt.
they could be bite-sized episodes.
Yeah. No, I'm so here for that. I read every piece of mythology I could get my hands on as a kid. Just like, give it to me. I just loved it. I just love all the little random everything.
Yeah. All the little stories.
Yep.
They're cool.
All right. What you got? Your turn.
What do I have? Okay. I have to open my notes.
Are you not prepared? Are you not prepared for your part? Did you close your tablet?
I did.
That's okay. I've closed my entire computer before, so.
All right, we're gonna play chicken with my battery power on my laptop. For some reason, when I plug in my laptop, we get feedback in the mics. So.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah.
I wonder if I don't know. I wonder if watch. You could balance it out, or not balance it out, but I don't know the words.
No, not with my skill level. I don't even.
There it
is.
is.
See? There it is.
I don't know if anybody else can hear it, but it's like there's just like a wicked static in my ear now.
Yeah. Okay. Unplugging again.
All right.
Okay. What do a war correspondent, a competitive surfer, a jazz musician, a philanthropist, a historical restorationist, and a suspected murderer have in common?
I don't know. I was sitting here like, nope, I got nothing. They are all human.
Yes.
Okay. Yay! I win.
They are all one human.
Oh, one. Dang.
Over the course of her lifetime,
yay her.
Doris Duke was all of the above.
Oh, okay.
We're going to talk about Doris Duke.
Sweet.
I got a woman.
You got a woman.
From history.
Yay.
I don't know if she's well, she did a lot of good. We'll say that. There was the suspected murder thing, but
tell me about that right now.
No, that's actually going to be the bonus content.
Oh, okay. Cool.
So Doris Duke was an American billionaire, tobacco heiress, philanthropist, and socialite. She was born on November 22nd in 1912 in New York City. So she actually would have been 113 years old this year.
Oh, that's cool.
She was the only child of James Buchanan Duke, a founder of the American Tobacco Company and Duke Energy Company, and a benefactor of Duke University.
I was just
That
going
Duke.
to ask, is that Duke?
It's that Duke.
So, coming
Yeah.
from North Carolina, like Duke University is a massive
Yeah.
thing, and Duke Energy is the power company
The
of the
leading
South.
company.
Yeah.
Yeah. Her mother was named Nanaline Holt Inman Duke.
Nanaline.
Nanaline. Nanaline?
Nanaline. I
Yeah.
like that name.
Yeah.
Let's
It's
bring
a
that
fun name.
back. Next cat we get is named Nanaline.
Nanaline.
Probably not, but
Na na na
I
na
like
na
it.
na na na.
Oh, never mind.
In a telegram sent to announce the news of Doris's birth to a friend, James Duke wrote that a fine girl just arrived, mother and child progressing satisfactorily, which I thought was cute. When she was born, the press called her the $1 million baby. She was born into massive money.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Doris spent her early childhood at Duke Farms in New Jersey. Sorry.
I was like,
For some reason, the state wasn't in my notes until further down. It was a 2,700 acre estate in Hillsborough Township, New Jersey. And it was the New Jersey part that I had to think about. So yeah, Duke Farms.
Just a tiny little farm.
Yeah, 2,700 acres.
That's insane.
Yeah. James Duke fell ill with pneumonia during the winter of 1925. He died in October of the same year. A week later, it was revealed that he had left the bulk of his fortune to his 12-year-old daughter, Doris.
Whoa.
On his deathbed, James cautioned her to trust no one, which is a piece of advice that forever resonated with her because she always tried to stay out of the public eye. Mm-hmm. Although there were several scandals with things she did and the way she lived her life. So this fortune that James left her amounts to about $80 million.
Is that $1925?
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it was about, I think I read somewhere that it was close to $1 billion.
That's insane.
Or somewhere over $1 billion, just over $1 billion in today's money.
That's insane.
Yeah. So that money would be parceled out to her in 3 phases beginning on her 21st birthday. So on the other hand, Doris's mom, Nanaline, had only been left a modest trust fund, which made for a strained relationship.
Yeah.
Now, the mom was also given permission to live in any of the properties owned by the family and given like a yearly sum of money.
Right.
So like she was able to live comfortably, but because of the fact that all of the most of the money was left to this 12-year-old daughter, that
I mean, that would
led
be
to a strained relationship.
that would be difficult, I think. Like,
yeah.
Because you're the mom and you've, been a part of this, of this family and kind of like, in charge of things. And now your daughter just be like, nah, you can't live here anymore. Bye. You know? So, could you imagine a teenage daughter being like, nah, bye, Mom.
See ya. Yeah.
Get out.
Yeah.
And legally, you can't really do anything about it.
And I think James was smart to say, portion it out to her in 3 sections starting on her 21st birthday. Because if you just give a 12-year-old $1 billion.
Oh, gosh, so many ponies.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they had 2,000 acres.
Yeah. So many ponies. Like so many ponies.
Yeah. So there was a bit of ambiguity in James Duke's will that led to a lawsuit filed in 1927 when Doris was 14 to prevent auctions and outright sales of the real estate that he had owned. And Doris was the one who actually filed the lawsuit at the age of 14 against her mother and other executors of the will to prevent them from selling James Duke's properties.
You go, girl.
And
this child.
Yeah.
14. I didn't know what a lawsuit was.
I know.
I mean, I probably did, but
she was like, no, you can't sell that. That's going to belong to me.
Yeah. Wow.
And it was all just ambiguity in the will. So she was like, I'm going to, get smart people to go over this and find out if they can actually do this. And turns out they can't. So
That's wild.
Yeah. One of the properties that she managed to get into her name was a Manhattan mansion, which later became the home of the Institute of Fine Arts at New York University.
Oh, wow.
So she donated it later in life.
Right.
And another one is an estate called Rough Point, located in Newport, Rhode Island. And that, as a result of the lawsuit, was sold to Doris Duke for $1. And all that did was transfer the deed from the Duke Trust and the executors of that. It transferred the deed to her name. So she got it for $1.
Good.
Yeah.
I'm really impressed with this
Yeah.
girl at 14 being like,
years
quit
old.
selling my dad's stuff.
Yeah.
Like, it's mine.
Yeah.
Like, stop. Okay, hang on. I got to go talk to my lawyer friend. Because there's some words here I haven't quite learned to pronounce yet.
Yeah. So she's, even at 14, she understood the importance of holding on to what would later become her inheritance. And
I mean, because it sounds like they could have just sold off so much of it to where she just got like a I mean,
Yeah, just
I
a
would take a
portion of it.
portion of $80 billion
Oh, for sure.
or $80 million.
80 million.
But still, like, yeah, like my dad wanted me to have this. Stop taking it away from me.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. So when she turned 21, she received the first third of her inheritance, which was an estimated $10 million back then.
yeah.
She used her wealth to pursue a variety of interests, including extensive world travel and the arts. She studied singing with Estelle Liebling, who was the voice teacher of Beverly Sills in New York City. And they are both well-known musicians, vocalists, operatic singers. At the age of 22, Doris stunned everyone when she hastily married an aspiring politician by the name of Jimmy Cromwell, who was 16 years older than her.
Oh.
After a 2-year around-the-world honeymoon, they arrived in Hawaii and decided to settle there, where they started to build a house that they called their Shangri-La on Honolulu. And it was after the mythical land where no one grows old. And Doris, during that 2-year honeymoon, they spent time in Thailand and the Middle East, and she was fascinated by Eastern culture and art and architecture. And so Shangri-La was loosely modeled after the Taj Mahal.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so she was heavily influenced by that.
Is it still there?
I think so. Maybe.
Okay.
Shoot, I didn't look that up.
I keep talking.
Yeah, just look for Doris Duke, Shangri-La, Honolulu. So while living in Hawaii, when she turned 25, she inherited the second third of her inheritance. And with a chunk of that money, she purchased a property in New Jersey that she would later turn into a camping facility for underprivileged kids. She invested nearly $165,000 into the camp during its first 2 years of operation and continued to financially support this camp well into the 1980s. She supported her husband Cromwell's political ambitions, but her attempts to campaign for him were overshadowed by the media's unwavering interest in Doris herself. They were more interested to find out what she's doing with all of this money. And eventually, their marriage began to unravel. When Cromwell was appointed minister to Canada, Doris retreated to Hawaii. And while there, she became the first non-Hawaiian woman to take up competitive surfing under the tutelage of surfing champion and Olympic swimmer Duke Kahanamoku. Kahanamoku. Duke Kahanamoku. Like, I know him as Duke.
Yeah, I almost mentioned him in my good news thing when I talked about the princes from Hawaii that brought surfing to America.
Uh-huh.
He learned from them.
Yeah.
Which I thought.
There is a restaurant in a chain in Hawaii called Duke's.
That's awesome.
Like all about him.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So I do have a Shangri-La in Hawaii is a cultural and convening center in Hawaii where art, ideas, and people come together.
Okay.
Founded by Doris Duke in the 1930s and home to the only U.S. museum dedicated to Islamic art.
Okay.
Shangri-La
Yeah.
supports residencies, fellowships, exhibitions, convenings, and digital storytelling. And I want to go to there.
Yeah. That's cool.
Okay, sorry. I just wanted to bring that in.
Okay. So she is now separated from her husband. He's a minister to Canada. They are still married, but her sort of behavior and indiscreet affairs kind of started to scandalize society. She became pregnant at age 27, and it was speculated that any number of men could have been the father.
Uh-oh.
The child was a girl named Arden. She was born prematurely in July of 1940 and died within 24 hours.
Oh, that's so sad.
Yeah. Doris was told by doctors that she should never try to have children again.
Oh.
And that kind of devastated her. And she actually consulted psychics to contact her dead daughter.
Oh.
And this was kind of a low-key obsession all throughout her life, which is very sad. She, over the course of her life, she had numerous love affairs with a lot of people, including Duke Kahanamoku and actor Errol Flynn, British politician Alec Cunningham Reid, U.S. Army General George S. Patton, jazz pianist Joe Castro, naval fighter pilot James W. Robb, and U.S. writer Louis Bromfield. Oh my gosh.
You said Lois. I was like, oh.
I did.
Okay, Doris.
Louis Bromfield.
Louis. Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, you said socialite, and
Yeah,
so she knew all these people.
Yeah. After the attack on Pearl Harbor, Doris Duke's 55-foot yacht in Hawaii, the Kailani Lahi Lahi, Lahi Lahi was her nickname. Her yacht was requisitioned by the War Shipping Administration for a sum of $20,000 for purposes of the war effort. It was around that time when she turned 30 that she got her third chunk of inheritance and final inheritance. And that's when she finally filed for divorce from Jimmy Cromwell.
Oh.
In 1944, she set sail for Africa, then on to Alexandria, Egypt, to begin her work as an assistant director of the American Seamen's Club operated by the United Seamen's Service. She wanted to help with the war in any way that she could. So in this role, she decorated the club, arranged its dances, played piano for the visiting armed forces, and earned the nickname Daisy May. Her salary was $1 a year. Oh. Because she needed it, right?
Right.
And then later on, when Alexandria became less of a port for American shipping, Doris transitioned out of the USS and briefly worked for the Office of Strategic Services in the recording department of Mediterranean Allied Air Forces. In 1945, she joined the International News Service, primarily stationed in Italy. She reported from various cities in war-torn Europe and continued working for the INS until early 1947. So that was her brief stint as a war correspondent during World War II.
That's crazy.
Yeah. After World War II, she continued her writing career in Paris, where she worked for Harper's Bazaar. While there, she met and married Dominican playboy Porfirio Rubirosa, and I'm going to include a direct quote from the article I pulled this from, whose legendary reputation for his sexual prowess entranced Duke.
Okay.
And because her wealth was so enormous, the U.S. government drew up Doris's prenuptial agreement themselves.
Whoa.
When they presented Rubirosa with the document, he fainted upon the realization of her net worth.
Oh, I mean, the U.S. government is like,
Yeah.
Hold on, we got your prenup right here.
We need to do this because
That's
you are
insane.
marrying a foreign person. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Their marriage lasted less than a year, and she never married again.
Aw.
Yeah.
Poor. I kind of feel like Well, I was gonna say I kind of feel bad, but also like she seemed like she was living her life.
She seems like
I mean,
she knew what she wanted.
Yeah.
And yeah, after like whatever happened with that marriage, she was just like, it's
maybe
okay.
Maybe his reputation was not as
sexual prowess was overstated.
Overstated, yes. Yeah. She was like, oh, hey.
Or maybe he just continued to be a playboy. And she was like, oh, right.
Right.
That is who I married.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah. Let's not do this anymore.
So after that, she used her money to travel the world, communing. Wow, that was a copy paste. Communing with the likes of Indian mystics and African witch doctors. She employed a permanent staff of over 200 to look after and manage her 5 homes. She still had her family's 2,700-acre farm in New Jersey, a Park Avenue penthouse, a hillside mansion in Beverly Hills. She had her Shangri-La Palace in Hawaii and her summer home, Rough Point, in Rhode Island.
Wow.
And although her lifestyle was unconventional, her attitude toward her father's fortune was not. She, during her lifetime, she was able to increase her father's fortune 4-fold. So she was really smart. Like, it seems like she's just throwing money around and being a rich girl, but she was actually, in addition to all the philanthropy that she did, she also invested and she grew the wealth. So in spite of her astute business sense, her real passion was for the arts. She had eclectic tastes that ranged from sort of collecting priceless Oriental treasures. She had Islamic art in her Shangri-La house. It was her dream to have a Thai village that she established in Hawaii.
Oh, wow.
And it was sort of like a miniature situation, but she also, it started in Hawaii. She moved it later to her home in New Jersey, to the farm. She also took an interest in belly dancing and spent her weekends singing in a black gospel choir.
Okay. She just was doing everything.
Yeah. She was also very interested in horticulture and environmentalism. At the age of 46, she started the Duke Gardens Foundation with the purpose of, quote, developing agricultural, botanical, and horticultural exhibits for the purpose of scientific experiments and of public inspection, instruction, education, and enjoyment. Over the next 6 years, she was personally involved in the physical design and construction of the indoor display gardens, incorporating her interests in color, design, and fragrance. She expanded the greenhouses in Duke Farms in New Jersey. And there are 11 interconnected gardens there in the Duke Gardens Foundation. It was a full-scale recreation. Each of the 11 gardens was a recreation of a theme, a country, or a period.
Oh,
so she would you would go to these places and be fully immersed in what a garden would look like in this place or this country or like this time period. She designed the architectural, artistic, and botanical elements of the displays based on observations from her extensive travels. And she also personally labored in the gardens in their installation. She would also often pull 16-hour days.
Wow.
Trying to pull this off.
I want to go to there.
Yeah.
Doris Duke Gardens?
The Duke Gardens Foundation. Yeah, Duke Gardens. In 1958, in recognition of her and this is another quote, sense of humanity of being a kind woman, thoughtfulness woman, helpfulness woman, and sympathetic woman towards destitute people like the Rosebud Sioux Indian people. In 1958, Doris was enrolled as a member of the Rosebud Sioux tribe, and she was given the name Wa Kantki Ye Win, or Princess Charity.
Oh. That's a nice name.
Her charitable donations were huge. She donated to Black colleges in the South. She was a chairman on the advisory committee on child care services. She founded a recording company named Jodo Inc. She provided funds to develop the American Indian Research Project. She established the Newport Restoration Foundation and so much more that I'm not even including in my notes. That I found like a timeline of her whole life, and a lot of it, like when she had this chunk of money, was donated to this, help set up this foundation, da, 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 da. Like she did so much.
This is what billionaires should be doing.
Yeah, it's great. Fast forwarding a little bit to 1987, the year I was born.
Wee baby.
Yeah. To accommodate both her continuing love of travel and her desire for privacy, she purchased a Boeing 737-300 as part of the airplane purchase from a Middle Eastern businessman. She also acquired 2 Bactrian camels named Baby and Princess, who resided at both the Rough Point and Duke Farms estates. They would travel with her.
Oh, you can buy my plane, but you have to take these 2 camels too.
When she bought this plane, she sort of gutted it and redecorated the inside of it and made it her own little personal, like she had a bedroom in there that was decorated to look. Okay. I lost that game of battery chicken, but fortunately.
That was mildly terrifying.
Yeah. My computer just kind of shut down, but the recording saved and we're good.
Whew.
Okay. So I left off with her buying that airplane. She redecorated it and
she had a bedroom.
She had a bedroom that was made to look like an actual bedroom that you would find in a house
crazy.
In this airplane. Yeah.
But I mean, I guess like there actually is a lot of room in airplanes if you don't have to, fit 500 people in them and all their luggage.
Yeah. And this isn't like the size of a private jet. It's a Boeing 737.
That's a big size plane.
Yeah. That was her own private Boeing.
That's no biggie.
Yeah. So she continued to do a lot of charity into her old age. And on October 28th, 1993, Doris Duke died in her Beverly Hills home, Falcon Lair, at the age of 80, with a net worth of nearly $1 billion.
$1 billion. That's insane.
She stated in her will that Rough Point was to be bequeathed to Newport Restoration Foundation, to be maintained according to professional standards for historic preservation, and it still is. Her butler, Bernard Lafferty, was named as the executor of her estate, and for a brief period of time, he was the president of the Doris Duke Foundation, which is the charity that was set up, I believe it was after her death, that maybe they renamed it. I don't know. It seems like she had a foundation. She did. Okay. She set up her foundation like when she turned 21 and got the money, but they didn't name it the Doris Duke Foundation until after she died.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I think I didn't include any of that in my notes.
Okay. I'll believe you.
Yeah.
We'll go with that.
So this butler, there's a bit of scandal surrounding this butler and the circumstances of Doris's death.
Uh-oh.
And here's the tea. Doris hired Lafferty as her butler while she lived in Hawaii. And during the winter of 1990, Doris became mysteriously ill. And when she later took a fall and was knocked unconscious, Lafferty saw an opportunity to sort of muddy the waters a bit by promoting the idea that other members of the household were conspiring against Doris. And the other members of the household were somebody that Doris legally adopted in 1988 because she believed that she was the reincarnation of her daughter that passed away prematurely.
Okay.
Yeah. This was also the person that introduced Lafferty to Doris.
Oh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
The long con.
Yeah, I mean,
that's
don't
what
know.
it sounds
but
like.
Like,
the long con. to me.
The butler, Bernard, convinced Doris that this girl that she adopted, and I say girl, she was an adult at the time, and her boyfriend or husband, I forget which, were conspiring against her to get her money. And that freaked Doris out enough to move to her Beverly Hills home permanently, even though like there was literally no proof that anybody in her household had done anything wrong.
Right.
It was just the butler kind of
The butler did it.
feeding her lies.
Right.
But also, I will say that none of this is actually substantiated
Allegedly.
either. It all came out, like some things came out in court after she died and while he was sitting on the chair of her foundation. And then he resigned after that. But I don't know how much of this was actually proven.
Right. Okay. So it's all
I
alleged.
didn't do that deep of a dive.
Okay. It's all
Yeah.
alleged.
I mean, in my notes, it's all alleged. There's probably, actual court filings and stuff that I could have pulled up and whatever, but I didn't. So when she moved to Beverly Hills, she sank into a deep depression. And at that point, she gave Lafferty total control over her household. At the age of 79, she was encouraged by Bernard to have a series of operations, including a facelift and knee replacement surgery at 79.
Wow. I mean, the knee replacement probably.
Well, the knee replacement surgery was unsuccessful, which left her in a wheelchair.
Oh.
And
Well, that sucks.
because she was growing increasingly frail and disoriented, she signed a will relinquishing her fortune to Bernard in 1993. And then shortly after that, an incident happened where Bernard refused to call an ambulance as Doris was choking on a piece of food. She was in and out of the hospital because of her various ailments at the time. And they had to put her on some heavy painkillers. And she was just continuously on those painkillers until she died.
Oh, that's so sad.
Yeah.
Like, I just like in my head, I can hear her dad going, "Trust no one.
Trust no one.
Trust no one."
Yeah.
Oh, that's. And I
Yeah.
mean, that's a terrible way to live.
Yeah.
But also, when you have that fortune, someone's always going to be. People
After
aren't
it.
kind.
Yeah.
People are not.
But
kind.
like, fortunately, like I said, there was a whole court case about this guy. And he resigned as the.
Did they overturn the will? Like he doesn't still.
I think so. Yeah. I think her remaining fortune was left to the
foundation. Okay.
Or the foundation took control over it.
Good.
After he stepped down as president. Yeah, I think that enough cause was found in the lawsuit.
Okay.
And I should have read up more about that, but I didn't.
That's fine.
It's all right.
It's fine.
But yeah,
That's wild.
that is Doris Duke. And I did mention the small matter of murder.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the and another thing.
Yeah,
on
I'm
Patreon.
gonna talk about that in the bonus content. I will say that the reason she is on our list is because of this book, this recipe book that I have called Food to Die For.
Oh, I was going to ask you, like, why was she on the list?
Rough Point is listed as a place in here. So this is a recipe book that kind of talks about famous haunted places or famous places that true crimes, like heinous true crimes, were committed. And it's recipes sort of inspired by those stories and things like that.
Yummy.
Like there's Lizzie Borden's meatloaf is in here.
Oh, no.
And like a lot of the haunted hotels and things. Where'd my bookmark go? They all have like famous dishes that their hotels are known for.
Right, right.
So in Rough Point, their home in Rhode Island, the recipe is Mrs. Goody's pecan pie.
Ooh.
And Huldah Goody was the Duke's family cook for more than 50 years. And this is one of her recipes.
Okay.
So, yeah. And then there's a little story that accompanies each recipe, and that's
Well-
where I found out about Doris Duke and the maybe murder that she committed.
Interesting. Okay, I can't wait for the end. Okay, let's just end this right now so I can do the bonus content because I want to know. Hi, I have a kitten coming into my lap. Hi,
Hello,
buddy.
little boy.
He can't hear me, but
Yeah,
oh, it's always so special when you're chosen
I know.
by the kitten. Oh, so happy
He's
now.
so cute.
That is cool.
That's Doris.
I knew of Doris Duke simply, like I said, living in North Carolina, Duke University, Duke Energy, and like North Carolina is a tobacco state,
Yeah.
so you kind of know that name, but I didn't know anything. I didn't know she became a
All of the
billionaire
things that
when she was
did.
12,
Yeah.
or that sort of thing. Like, that's wild. And
Yeah.
all the stuff. And I did look up, like I mentioned, the Shangri-La place. The pictures are gorgeous.
Yeah.
It's like right on the ocean.
Oh,
It's
man.
absolutely beautiful, and I want to go to there.
Okay. When we go to Hawaii, we'll go
Okay.
there.
All right.
Okay, should we draw cards?
Yeah, let's draw cards and see what we're doing. Well, yeah. I actually do have my topic for next week already, but I'll draw for the week ahead of time. So
Because you did the wild hunt.
I
this
did the
time.
wild hunt.
It was your
yeah.
little wild magic surge.
It's my little wild magic.
I did
yeah.
mine not too long ago.
It's fine. That's the joy of this
You
podcast.
presented first, so you get to draw first.
Oh, right. I forgot that.
Yeah, that's how this works.
I'm not. It's weird. My numbers are shifting. I'm going first more often
I
than not.
know. It's exciting. What did you just get?
I'll tell you. I'll tell you in 2 weeks. Is 2 weeks our anniversary? 3 weeks is our anniversary.
Yeah,
Our
the
season.
21st.
Oh, can I save this to kick off season 2?
Sure.
Okay.
Okay. Draw
Okay.
again.
Oh my god. Okay.
Wait, what?
No, this is gonna be fun. Okay.
I'm excited for mine.
I am too.
Yeah.
I'm excited for
I know.
mine.
I know
Sweet.
what this is. Sweet.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm actually okay. Yeah. Yay! This would be fun. Okay.
What's your warm ember?
My warm ember.
I didn't give the spiel about where to find us. Patreon.com/JessonHids. That's it. Just go there. You'll find all the things.
Yeah, we're actually kind of drifting away from Facebook. So if you don't see as much posting there, you probably aren't seeing much posting there anyway.
Yeah.
Because we don't pay them to be seen anymore. So most of our stuff now all of our stuff is on Patreon and our Discord server, which you can find the link to that on Patreon.
On Patreon.
We have a public area and we have patron only perks. So my warm ember, I feel like I should, like I was thinking about this earlier because I knew I'd have to do it. And do you have one ready to go?
Well, I did when we started the episode. And I have forgotten it.
Oh, no. I feel like we talked about something yesterday and I was like, my warm ember. Oh, I'm going to use that. And then
I will mention, I mean, I could use this as a warm member too, but we did the haunted corn maze on Saturday night. And it was really fun. And that's another thing that we're going to include in the bonus content is I strapped microphones to me and Hids as we walked through this haunted corn maze. So there's a lot of like screaming and a lot of don't punch, don't punch, don't punch.
And a lot of me not swearing.
Yeah.
Making weird sounds so I'm not swearing because I tried to behave.
Yeah. Anyway, we're gonna drop that audio, and we might do a little voiceover of it.
Yeah,
for our bonus content, just so it's not just like 15 minutes of random screams and stuff
and laughter. So if you're in northern Arizona in October, slide on over to Snowflake, Arizona, and go to the Willis Farm corn maze.
Corn maze, pumpkin patch, haunted corn maze. They do laser tag. They have food trucks there. It's a whole big thing.
Yeah.
And we sponsored them this year, so we're giving them a shout out.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're closed now.
But yeah, so
the first
October's
was the last day of the season. But yeah, next year
we'll
plan
do it
it
again. Yeah. I still don't have a warm ember. No, I do. My warm ember is my current obsession of filling this little wish jar full of origami stars,
Yeah.
which we had. Make-A-Wish jar was one of our scavenger hunt items, and it didn't have to be like the origami stars, but
Yeah.
one of our friends who did the scavenger hunt is like, "Oh, I got this
kit.
and this little kit," and I was like, "Well, I'm getting that," and I have been obsessively making these little stars for the past 10 days, I think, since I got the kit. And I almost have my star full, and it just makes me happy to see it.
It is
And
super cute.
I'm looking at other jars and bottles around the house to fill. It's a fun fidgety thing, because I realize, like, if I'm not drawing or crocheting or doing something with my hands, I just eat. So I just like snack, and I'm like, that's not a good thing to do. So it's a fun little thing. It's bringing me joy, and yeah, I think that, and I think the Discord server is really growing in activity, and that makes me happy.
Oh, that's another war member.
That's my other war member. Yeah. That my war member that doesn't involve just me being obsessive about something.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. If you, dear listeners, have war members that you would like to share with us, let us know. You can email us at jessandhids@gmail.com. You can join our Discord server. There's a channel for war members.
And that channel gives me warm embers, because everybody pops in there and will just randomly drop one, like something good that's happened to them or that's made them happy. And it's just...
And it's like, it's little things that, like, they happen, they make you smile, but then you go about your day. But I love that people take the time to post about them in our little war members channel. Yeah. It's
it makes
great.
me happy.
Yeah.
I have a literal warm ember in my lap, because this cat is very warm. Oh, and
he's so cute. Okay.
Are we done? Oh, yeah, we can end.
We're done.
I'll just ramble on nonstop until you hit pause or stop. So I'm excited about these two cards that I have. Oh, hi, kitty.
Well, now I need to come up with something to kick off season 2 as well. I don't know if this one's a good enough one. It's interesting, but anyway.
I'll tell you what. You could take one of these two cards. It would make an excellent episode.
Oh my gosh. Both of those cards together?
Yeah.
Oh man. I'll think about it. All right. Okay.
It'll be
I don't want to look at them yet until
No.
I'm committed.
Okay. Episode 1 of season 2 will be a fun little surprise episode.
Yeah.
Who knows what
Thanksgiving
it's gonna
Day.
be. Oh, you can listen to us before you fall asleep.
Take a break from your family and listen to our podcast. Or better yet, listen to our podcast with your family.
Yeah.
Monopolize their ears because you know they're going to.
Yep. Here, listen to me. Stop talking. We'll have good news, so it'll be a positive little burst of something, and it'll be fun. And I like my topic, so.
Cool. Okay.
All right.
Anyway, well, thank you for listening. Spread the word about us, please.
Yes, please.
We would love it if you do that, and we would love your continued listening. What else? I feel like there was more, but there's probably not. I don't know.
I could probably sit here and think of new things.
No.
We have
just more for me to edit out.
We have downloads in 25 different countries.
Yeah. Oh, that's a fun
kind
thing.
of fun.
Yeah, we got a download in the Philippines recently, which was new.
5 downloads in the Philippines.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Someone's catching up.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Cool. We'll talk to you next week.
Bye.
Bye.